All right, let's jump right in. I want to talk about something that might sound a little weird at first. What if our obsession with getting the numbers exactly right is actually making us blind to what's really happening? It's a fascinating idea, so let's dig in. So, this quote from Nassim Taleb's book, The Black Swan, this is really going to be our North Star for this whole conversation. It just nails this tension, right? This clash between two completely different ways of seeing the world. And we're going to unpack what that means for, well, for leaders, for companies, and maybe even for you and me. Okay, so section 1, the seduction of precision. Let's start with a basic question. Why do we love precise numbers so much? What is it about an exact figure that just pulls us in, especially in business? I mean, think about it. If you're in the C-suite, the last thing you want is uncertainty. It feels like this enemy you have to defeat. So what do? You demand precise forecast for everything. Revenue, customer churn, the synergies you're going to get from that big merger. It gives you this feeling, this illusion that you've actually got a grip on what's coming next. Like, look at this number, $47.3 million. It's so specific, isn't it? It feels so rigorous and scientific. You slap that on a PowerPoint slide in a board meeting and bam, instant credibility. It just screams certainty, even if it's completely pulled out of thin air. But here's the kicker, and this is really the whole point. Precision is not the same thing as accuracy. They are not the same thing. You can be precise down to the second decimal place and be totally, completely, 100% wrong. Your model can be a work of art, but reality? Yeah, reality doesn't care about your beautiful spreadsheet. And you can see the battle right here. On one side, you've got precision. Man, it looks good. It feels scientific. It gives you that illusion of control we were talking about. But on the other side, you've got accuracy. And that's all about what's actually happening in the real world. It's about being okay with a little bit of uncertainty. One feels good, but the other is what's actually useful. So, that leads to a pretty big question, right? If our super precise models can be so dangerously wrong, then what are we supposed to do? What's the alternative? Well, the answer isn't some new, more complicated algorithm. Nope. It's something much, much older. Something deeply human. We're talking about the wisdom found in a story. Think about what a fable is. It's not going to give you a number you can just plug into a spreadsheet. It gives you something else, a pattern, a general truth about people. Like the boy who cried wolf. It's not precise, but it is approximately right. And that wisdom, it lasts for centuries. This is exactly the problem the author of our source material ran into. He wrote this business fable about executive burnout, and he knew his audience. These are executives, people who are basically addicted to precision. They were never going to read some boring data-heavy report about a squishy topic like burnout. No way. So why does a fable work where a report fails? Well, for one, burnout isn't just a checklist of symptoms. It's a really complex human experience. A story can sneak right past our analytical defenses, the part of our brain that wants to argue with the data points. Instead, it speaks directly to our own lives, our own experiences. And let's be honest, you're going to remember a character's story way longer than you'll ever remember a statistic from a report. Okay, now this next part is just brilliant. The author knew his audience was obsessed with numbers. So what did he do? He decided to use their own obsession against them. A little bit of genius right here. So get this. Full disclosure, he basically admits this in the source material. He built a tool, an online assessment that gives you a very precise numerical score for your risk of burnout. It's the exact kind of thing these executives can't resist. And this lays out the whole strategy. It's a classic Trojan horse. First, you know your audience. They love their KPIs, their metrics. Second, you create the lure, a precise score for their burnout blind spots. But, and here's the hook, the score itself doesn't really matter. That's not the point. The real goal is to get them to just answer the questions, to get them to actually start reflecting on what they're doing. Yeah, the precision is just a Trojan horse for reflection. The numbers are just the shiny object to get them in the door. The real mission is to sneak past all their defenses and deliver the real payload, a moment of actual, honest-to-goodness self-reflection. It's just a masterful way to use the precision trap against itself. All right, so let's zoom out. What's the big takeaway here? What are we supposed to be measuring really? Think about the things we measure with such precision. Quarterly results, customer churn rates, all those KPIs on our dashboards. We track them obsessively. But what do we completely ignore? those fuzzy, imprecise signals our bodies are sending us, the approximately right truth that, hey, maybe we're just completely running on fumes. And you start to realize this obsession with only what we can measure perfectly might be the biggest blind spot of them all. We're so focused on the numbers that we miss the story they're supposed to be telling. So that's a question I want to leave you with. Think about your own life, your own work. Is your obsession with precision causing you to miss what truly matters? Is your focus on being exactly wrong keeping you from being approximately right? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.